There are many ways you can prep your cabin on the first day of your cruise, but which is actually the best and more effective to ensure you will have a great experience for the rest of your time on board. In this video, I will give you at least 10 recommendations that you can do and request for as soon as you embark on the ship. One of the many tips I hear a lot is to record as soon as you enter your cabin, but this video will actually go on to reveal even more than that, such as hidden requests you could make and secrets you didn't know coming from the knowledge of a crew member. The purpose of why you should record your room as soon as you get in is for a valid reason, as doing this you can share in the future, whether on social media or with friends and family, the photos of a nicely arranged room and anything else that may have a special touch for you. Doing it as soon as possible eliminates the chance of not being able to capture the moment early on. And just to pause right there, some of these tips that I will share with you may not have been mentioned by anyone else before, so make sure you pay close attention and also share this video with your other cruiser friends so they can also learn these tips. Alright, let's get back into it. The next valuable tip you should know is that you can always ask your cabin attendant for scented fragrances for your room. Normally your cabin attendant will have lots of different smells and aromas that they use constantly to clean and freshen up your room, but you can request for a particular fragrance if you have one in mind, such as lavender fragrances or even milder ones that will not affect you if you have any known sinus irritations that you should make your cabin attendant aware of. The next tip is to check for your shower head and sink in the bathroom to not have any faults or drainage issues. Sometimes it is expected that long usage of the shower and sink areas can cause an unexpected overflowing of water and clogging of the drainage systems, so make sure you test out these areas by running a little water to check for these issues, and if there is any, you can alert your cabin attendant immediately so these issues can be resolved early instead for it to be later affecting the rest of your cruise. The next thing you should always do upon entering your cabin is to check if all the appliances in your room are in working order. Also pay close attention and look for any missing items that you may need later on in the cruise, such as any ice buckets for when you need ice for your drinks in the cabin, or just to have in case you need it. Make sure to also check if the TV remote is functional and it isn't out of any batteries or need changing. Some of the most common issues tend to be about the TV not turning on, so make sure to also check if it is securely plugged in as well. Another valuable tip to know is that you should make yourself familiar with who your cabin attendant is and who has in and out access of your cabin. Also, it is valuable to learn at what time your cabin steward is expected to be in and around your room, as this way you can better plan ahead and work around the timing of the steward. Doing this, you have a better chance to know when they might need to be in your room or for whenever you may need something, so learning your cabin steward's time will give you the best chance to run into them to make any last minute requests. Another super tip you should know is while you have your cabin steward's attention is to ask where is your room located from the nearest venues on board, such as the dining areas, the bars, the entertainment spots, the open decks and the elevators and so on. Once you have this knowledge down, you can better understand the layout of the ship from your room. Now onto a tip that has probably never been mentioned before that can be super valuable once you're on board, and that is to know which direction is the front of the ship and which way is the back. And a good way to learn this, especially if there is no noticeable sign around by your room, and that is by asking any one of the ship staff that is near you or even your cabin attendant, is which direction is your door handle facing, whether it is to the front or to the back of the ship. Once you learn this, you can always use this knowledge every time you leave your room by looking at your door's handle to know which direction of the ship you are heading. I hope now you understand why I said to share this video, so all your cruiser friends can now learn all these valuable tips and they won't be so secret anymore. The next tip I would add is for you to decide where to store and unpack your belongings, and the reason for this is coming up in the next tip. But as for now, arranging your belongings allows you to find them much more easily, such as where you place your travel documents and clothing that you may need instantly whenever you go out to the shore side. This next tip follows the footstep of the previous one, and it is to arrange what you will wear for each night while you're on board. And one of the main reasons is if the ship you are on hosts any formal nights, you want to find out this information as early as possible so you can better plan ahead what you will wear on those nights. Another good thing to mention is to have unpacked a bedside shoes or slippers that you may wear frequently around the room, in case you may need to get up late at night to use the bathroom or for the unexpected emergencies on board. As a crew member, I sometimes run into guests during emergencies who couldn't find their shoes to wear, as the lights may go out and make it difficult for you to locate anything in your cabin. Another unspoken tip that you should 100% be aware of is to be mindful of the do not disturb sign on your room's door. If you plan to use it anytime during your cruise, is to remember that the crew members follow a very strict policy when it comes to this, so any attempts to approach these cabins will be highly discouraged. There are instances where guests would order room service but have the do not disturb sign on the door, which will make the crew cancel the delivery operations until they are given the go ahead to do so. So that means going all the way back to the galley to return the ordered items, so just ensure to be mindful of the do not disturb sign on your room's door and only place it there when necessary. Moving along to the next tip that a lot of people don't use nowadays. Even though it is not necessary, it is still useful to know about when you're on your cruise, and it is you can have a personal alarm set up on your behalf using the ship resources. Nowadays that everyone has a mobile device, this feature has been hardly requested anymore, but the option is still there for those of you who wants to be alerted, especially on days when you have shore excursions, events and tours to attend. Generally, to set up an alarm is to call the guest services department to help you get it set up for your room, but like I said, everyone now has a mobile device and don't use this feature anymore. It is just there in case you need it. Another valuable tip you should know and shouldn't forget about is on the first day of getting to your cabin is to fill out any breakfast cards that you may be given inside your room, especially if you want breakfast to be delivered to your room. Many times guests on the first day overlook this or may not even know that this was an available addition to the cruise, so make sure to check for this in your cabin if it is there and fill it out and place it on your door. Alright, so now that you know what to do on your first day of embarking the ship and all these valuable tips you've learned, I am now asking you to go ahead and leave a like on this video, share it with your other cruiser friends and family so they can learn these tips too. Leave a comment below for any other tips that you might want to share, and also watch my next video that you may see here somewhere on the screen. It's Onik, your cruise employee, and I'm out.